that. So now we're starting the interview. So I am the interviewer.
Yeah.
And I will tell you a little bit about our company. So our company has been around for 5 years. It's an online retailer. We sell fashionable clothing such as dresses, hats, coats, suits. It's fashionable a little bit on the upscale side. We sell it through a website. We have 40 people here in our office in New York City, mostly not data scientists. Of course, we have marketing folks and some software developers, some people sales. And of course, we have a little bit on the analyst and data science side. So at first, it was just ad hoc. CEO had some questions, so we would need to run some queries in SQL and just give the answers, what is selling better, just to understand the day-to-day business, right? But recently, we also looked into a recommendation system, how it can help us sell more products. So what do you think about doing an internship with this kind of company?
I will glad to work with this kind of company because I think data analytics has a very good scope to clustering the customers and identifying the more profitable customers or the whom to target, so we can focus only upon particular segment of a customer which we are interested in, and also particularly not to target the customers who we don't want. So maybe some customers are frequent buyer, but they are buying less margin products. So we need to target them differently. Some are more loyal and also buying high margin products. So they are like our star customers. So it is very necessary to target those customers, and data analytics will definitely help to develop a cluster of customers, and also it will help in providing recommendation system based on the past buying pattern of the customer. We can have a recommendation system and use collaborative filtering of technology, ML module, to give recommendation to each customer. That is what Netflix is doing. So we can implement this same kind of thing in our business.
Okay, sure. I appreciate the additional ideas. And so let me tell you about a particular challenge we have been facing. Recently, we implemented a new recommendation system. So for context, only registered users can purchase on our website. Means you have to log in into your account that you have created. And we have implemented a recommendation system, which means users would see a widget saying, here are some items we think you would love based on your prior purchase history. And now we are doing an A/B test. Have you heard of A/B tests?
Yes, I have.
So it means we are splitting the traffic. A, people, they don't see any recommendations. It's the control group. However, B, people, they see this new recommendation widget. And we do see activity. We do see people clicking, checking out those recommended items. But here is the challenge. What metric should we use to decide if the widget is performing well, to decide if we should keep those recommendations permanently, or perhaps we use this space on the screen for something else, right? What numbers should we compare between version with and without recommendations to make this decision?
Okay, so I will give answer to your question in 2 ways. It depends upon our objective. So if we want to check only whether customers like recommendation system or not, then we will be using click-through rate. So how many times customers are clicking compared to compared to control group. but ultimately our objective should be the conversion rate. So if from all the recommendation, how many times customers are actually purchasing, adding to a cart and completing the transaction. So final objective and the final tunnel would be the conversion rate, but to check also whether this recommendation system is worthwhile in our business or not, click to rate is also important. So I will check two matrices as it sounds.
Okay, understood. So when you talk about click-through rate, let's start from there. You're talking about rate of what exactly?
So click to rate is like if 100 customer gets recommendation system of a 5 product per se in one page, and out of that if 10 customers click any of the recommended product, then it will be the click to rate will be the 10%.
Understood.
Okay.
So in group B, customers see recommendations and you can compute this click-through rate. However, in group A, customers do not see any recommendations.
Yes.
So we cannot compute the click-through rate. So I don't know how to compare because I get 10% on one side and no number on the other. I don't know if 10% is good enough or not.
So basically, if we don't give a recommendation system, customer will click any other product in the control group.
Mm-hmm.
So we can build our regression model or something where there will be the dummy variable for the treatment group and the non-treatment group, and we can see how many clicks are happening, whether in treatment group we are getting more clicks compared to non-treatment group or not. That is what my understanding is right now. Compared to non-treatment group or not. That is what my understanding is right now.
Okay, that makes total sense.
Okay.
Good. Let me ask you now a math question.
Okay.
So let's say we have a deck of cards. It has 52 cards and 13 of each suit. Hearts, diamonds,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Hearts, diamonds, spades, and club.
Yes, and clubs, exactly.
Yeah.
If I take a card at random,
okay,
let's say I like clubs, what is the chance that a random card is one of clubs?
1/4.
Sure. Now let's say I take a card at random, I put it back, I shuffle, I again take a card at random. What is the chance both of them were clubs?
Both of them clubs. So it will be like 13/52, and you also shuffle once. So 13/52 into 13/52. So 1/8, no, 1/16.
Yep. Okay. So now let's say more interesting. I pick two cards at the same time. What is the chance both of them are clubs?
So both of them clubs, it will be 13/52 into 12/51.
Excellent. So now let's say I pick two cards at random. What is the probability exactly one of them is a club and the other is not?
That is not two cards at random. So when it's 13/52 times into not having club, so it will be 52 minus 13 is 39, so into times 38/51. 13/52 times 38/51.
Why 38/51?
Because we have already moved one card.
Okay. Where did 38 come from?
8?
38.
We have 13 cards, so I have removed all the clubs of 13 and one card is already removed, so we have 15 cards. Out of that, 39, sorry, 39 by.
So this is approximately, so it's 1/4 multiplied by something. So it's even less than 1/4, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now, okay, third question. What if I pick 2 cards and I want no clubs at all? What would be the probability now? Okay, third question. What if I pick 2 cards and I want no clubs at all? What would be the probability now?
No clubs at all. So it will be 3/4 times and now 3/4 times 39 into 51.
3/4.
So 13 by 3.
Yes.
40 by 52. No, where 13? Sorry. So 39 by 52. It's very times one card is removed. So into 12 by 51.
No, I'm saying if neither is.
Yeah. So 39 by 52 times 38 by 51.
Very good. So it's approximately 3/4 squared, right?
Yeah.
So it's approximately 9/16.
Yeah.
Now the chance to get both clubs is exactly 1/, it's approximately 1/16.
Yeah.
And the chance to get exactly 1, we established, is less than 1/4 because it was 1/4 multiplied by something else.
Yeah.
So we have 1/16, 9/16, and something which is less than 1/4 or 4/16. So it adds up to a little less than 14/16. But I would think there are no other possibilities.
Yeah. Probability should be 1, right? Total.
Right. So something has to be wrong.
So basic. I will have to think about it. So basically, we are. If I am not able to communicate well, I guess so. But so if we do, the probability should be the one. That's the final one. So if probability of both having club is 13 by 52 into 12 times. Actually, we have made the mistake. Actually, we are picking up both cards simultaneously at the same time, right? So it should be 13C2 club. So it should be 13C2, I guess. That is where we are making mistake.
Can you explain it a little better? A little, just add more detail.
So basically, we have 13 club cards, so we can choose 2 cards from. So it should be the 13C2 upon 52C2 for probability of both club.
And when you say C2, it's called choose
combination. Yeah, combination.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. And for the both not having club, we have total 39 options. So 39C2 upon 52C2.
I don't see why. I see your point. Well, look, for the case of both being clubs, it's the same, really. You do get the same result if you compute it this way or that way. because if you think about it, say 13 choose 2 is 13 times 12, half of it.
13 times 12 upon, yeah, it's, yeah.
And then 52 choose 2 is 52 times 51 and divided by 2.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
So the 2's goes cancelled, and you do get 13 over 52 times 12 over 51. So you still get the same result here.
Oh yeah. So in that case also we will get the same result. You are right. 38 into 30, 39 into 38 divided by 52.
But the one where you pick one card, where one can be a club and one not, there you don't get the same result if you do it carefully.
Yeah. So one club and one, yeah, it's 13 into 39 divided by 52 into 51. 52 times 51 divided by. Am I correct?
So what's the answer?
For one club and one not club?
Sure.
For one club and one not club, it's 13 times 39 divided by 52 times 51.
13 times 39 divided by 52 times 51. That's basically what you said before. It's 1/4 times 39 over 51.
Yeah, 1/4 into 1/4 times 3/4 approximately.
Okay. So let's move on. Let me ask you now a little programming. You know Python, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's say we have a list of integers, and I would like to write you a function called hasRepeats. It will take a list of integers and return true if any of the integers are repeated 2 or more times, and false if all of them are unique. For instance, if you give it, say, 82486, we expect it to be true because of number 8.
Okay.
However, if we do hasRepeats 8246, we expect it to be false because all the numbers are unique. So now you can go ahead and implement this function.
Okay.
Are you typing something? Because the tool today isn't very good at updating.
Actually, I am, but I have a logic, but actually I am not as good in Python in particular programming side. So I can explain logic, but I am not able to generate the function, because actually whatever I know in Python is basically from data science perspective, not on programming side. Are you able to see?
Okay, yes, I do see. Okay, I see what you are trying to do.
Yeah, but I'm not as good in programming side of the Python. So
Is there a language that you know better?
I know R, but it's just that this is a programming, and whatever I am used to is that data science part, like running an algorithm and interpreting results. That's my one of the weakness, if I may say so.
Okay. So by data science, you mean training a model?
Yes, building an training and model and generating an output like data analysis part. Performing different kind of regression or clustering, logistic regression, logic model, and k-means clustering, other classifications.
Okay, very good. So we will end the interview part here.
Okay.
As they say, we will stay in touch.
Yes, yes, yeah. Can I send you a LinkedIn request?
Well,
so that we can be in touch.
Sure.
Yes, yes, yeah. Can I send you a LinkedIn request?
Well,
so that we can be in touch.
Sure. Of course.
Yeah.
And you can also join our LinkedIn page for people who love fashionable accessories.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Well. So let's see. You said you are glad to work with this kind of company. You think data analytics has very good scope, so we can focus on particular segment and so on. So it is very good that you expressed enthusiasm. Always express enthusiasm whenever you're interviewing with someone. That is good. It was a little bit difficult to understand some parts. It's not the accent. I think your pronunciation is clear enough. It's keep it clear. Keep speaking slowly. But the thought you were trying to express got complicated, I think. When you were saying we can focus on a particular segment, do not target customers we do not want, I feel you went deep into some thoughts about something you don't necessarily have experience with or a lot of experience with. And in the beginning of the interview, you don't necessarily want to go so deeply because many interviewers have an agenda and they want to go through their list of questions. So they will not interrupt you, but later they will be like, oh, this guy didn't solve this problem because we ran out of time. They will not analyze that you did not solve many problems because all the time was spent on the introduction. They will just see in the notes that you didn't.
Okay.
You know, so you don't want to spend time that could be used by you solving problems.
Okay, so I should not give too lengthy answers, right?
Yes, that's a very good way to summarize it. Okay. Don't give lengthy answers and just wait for them to prompt you more if they want more color.
Okay.
So when you were answering the question about recommendation systems, you did show some business understanding. So that is good. You were not quantifying your ideas very well. Sometimes it's better to be specific, right? So if I ask what metric should we use, you say, okay, metric we use is total sales in A versus B. So again, the more you stay on point, the better.
Okay, so in my example, like it was a recommendation system and I answered it depends upon a business needs. So the metric should be like throughout, like how much additional revenue I generate through recommendation system. Is that, will it be qualified as a specific?
You did not explain very well how it depends on business need.
Okay.
You basically said we can do clicks, but really we should do purchases.
Okay, so it wasn't elaborative, right?
Well, you could come up with a business need saying maybe you want publicity, maybe the company just wants to become popular and it doesn't care as much about sales at this point. You could try to make the case that sometimes you care about clicks. That could be an interesting touch, but you really seem to prefer the second answer.
Okay.
So that is fine. I think it's a reasonable answer. And
Okay.
nobody expects you to know everything about business when you want to be an intern.
Yeah.
So the second part with the probability questions, you gave fast answers. That is excellent.
Yeah, initially it was fast and then I think I completely messed up.
That was excellent. When you say 1 quarter, it was very fast and it made a really good impression.
Oh.
You know, they always say time doesn't matter, but it does, or speed.
Yeah, in maths I think it matters.
It shows how comfortable you are with it.
Okay.
So, okay, the last with the probability that exactly one card is a club. So your mistake was the following. You counted probability that the first is a club times that the second is not. But there is also the opposite case, that the first one is not, but the second one is.
Okay.
That's why it did not add up.
Okay. So it is an odd case, so we need to calculate both.
Well, it's the same number,
Okay.
just from symmetry.
Okay.
Actually, it's a good question if it's the same number, but it is. So in the end, I did not tell you your answer was wrong because the interviewer does not have to tell you. You know, sometimes people just say, okay, let's move on. It doesn't mean you got it right.
Yeah, actually, unconsciously, I also know it was a wrong, but I am not able to figuring out how, because it is a little tense the environment and I didn't have pen and paper. So maybe that's the one reason.
Okay, well, you solved the other ones, so that is good. Now with the Python part, it's not good that you don't know how to express things in Python. You know, obviously you need to learn how to code simple things.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
in practice, you rarely just get perfect data. You have to do something with it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people would consider it a poor excuse. You know, it's a bit like saying, I don't need to understand how to compute derivatives by hand because, you know, I have MATLAB and I have a calculator. So I don't have to remember the derivative of a sine is cosine. Sure, you don't, but say if you want to be an engineer, you do.
Yes.
And same thing here, you don't have to know programming if you just want to be a CEO and just have some high-level grasp of data science. But if you want to be a data scientist, then you definitely need to be able to program.
Definitely,
things.
yes. I will have to work on that part of during this break.
Okay. Also, let me ask you, during your interviews in the past, what kind of questions do you find the most challenging?
For me, I faced the behavioral interview question most challenging. Like, I really couldn't come up with a story of like what was the most challenging situation you faced in your past job, or have you ever dealt with any trouble or any truth with your manager, and have you solved that problem? So behavioral interview questions are challenging.
So because you haven't.
I have work experience, but to come up with a story in the 10 seconds and representing, it's little difficult for me. So I am facing issue on that front in
So
past interview.
okay. So you probably know what to do about it.
Yeah, I know, but I have read even my university has also guided good, like following the STAR method and come up with answers.
You just take the time and come up with the answers in advance and practice telling those stories in advance.
Okay, yeah, so practice is the key, I guess. I haven't practiced much.
Okay, very good. So thank you for this conversation.
Thank you so much for taking time.